Hello and welcome to my channel where I budget for day-to-day life and plan and save for the future. We are a family of 3, debt-free except for our mortgage, and we are living a simple and pleasant life in order to save for tomorrow. Today I will be going through our February 2023 budget. If that interests you, please come along with me, and if you'd like, please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel in order to continue seeing any content that I create. As I've already mentioned, we are a debt-free family, but that hasn't always been the case for us. Our debt-free journey started in 2018 and finished in April of 2021 when I finished paying off my final and largest student loan. If you'd like, let me know in the comments where you are in your own financial journey, whether you're just getting started, saving for a home, or you've reached financial independence. Let me know. I'd love to hear about it, and you're all welcome here. Okay, let's get started on February. So this was our February budget. I've already pre-filled everything out because with my handwriting, if I want it to be legible, I tend to write fairly slowly. And also I tend to write really close to the paper. So to save you all from watching the back of my head, I've just pre-filled everything out. So we get paid bi-weekly every other Friday, and in February we're expecting that to be twice. So I have a payday 1 and payday 2, and I have this separated up into income, bills, savings, variable expenses, debt payments, and a summary of everything. So let's start with income. We are expecting payday number 1 to equal $29.30, and this is what we will net. This is the money that will hit our bank account. This doesn't include any payroll deductions for health insurance or any other employer-sponsored things and taxes. So we're expecting $29.30, and we're expecting the same in for payday number 2. And we are expecting a very small rebate check to come in towards the end of the month of $11. Now, everything is in whole dollars because I round down income we're expecting to the nearest whole dollar. And any expenses, whether it's bills, expenses, whatever, I round up just to make sure there isn't any confusion about the cents that are coming out or the messiness of all that. And it's just easier to budget that way versus every single penny. So as far as incomes, this is what we can expect. February is also a month where, if it happens, my husband receives a pay raise and a bonus. But since I don't know how much, or really even if it's likely to happen, but you never know. I don't know how much. I don't know when it's going to hit. I'm just budgeting for what I know. So I've also included a line item here for any savings used and any other income we have. I don't know what other income that could be. Maybe if I sold something on Facebook Marketplace or something. I sold one of my son's toys the other day, but that went right into his savings bucket. So, if we have anything, I'm not expecting anything, but if something does happen, it will be reflected in the actual as we move through the month and these get filled in. So in total, we are expecting $5,871 in usable income. Moving on to bills, or our set expenses, our non-variable expenses. We have our gas and electric, which is all through the same company, so it comes as one bill, at $314. We have our cell plan, which is just under $100 for both my husband and myself. My son is 5. He does not have his own cell phone yet. I have a gym membership that comes in at just under $60, excuse me. Our car insurance for both of our vehicles is $88. Our internet service is $66. We have a few subscriptions that total just under $25. It might actually be closer to $20, but recently canceled one of them. So this is my estimate, and it's probably overestimating, but we're going to say 25, and whatever it comes in as will be put in as actual. We are members of our local public radio, and that's $10 a month. And for our newer vehicle, we have our car registration, which is an annual cost that is due this month in February, and it'll come in at just under $171. And we also have an umbrella insurance policy that renews every February. So this is an annual expense. If you're unfamiliar with umbrella insurance, it's just another form of insurance. It's another form of protection. It covers things that aren't necessarily covered under homeowners insurance or car insurance in case we are found liable for something. And there's other nuances to it, but this is just another way to protect our home and our assets and our future. So in total, we are expecting $991 in fixed expenses. Now I want to go back up to this gas and electric. This is relatively high for us. I know gas and electric has gone up for everybody, not just in the United States. And in the United States, it seems like things actually aren't as bad as they are in other parts of the world in terms of energy costs. We had a cold snap right before Christmas, and this includes that. So we live in Minnesota. We are in a suburb of the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, and we had a cold snap right before Christmas, and our gas and electric bill, how it's billed is it's mid-month to mid-month. So it's mid-December to mid-January, and then paid in mid-February. So that's what this bill is. So that varies from month to month. Like I said, this was high. It's actually a little bit less than I expected it to be. I had in my head that it would be $350, but when the bill came in, which was just a week ago or so, I saw that it was, just under $314. I was like, okay, I don't like it, but we can make it work. So that's the story on our gas and electric. I know that's on a lot of people's minds these days. So that, with the $999 subtracted from our total income expected, will be $4,872. Now we move on to savings. And I used to never understand really the mechanics of how to save and pay yourself first, because, if you have bills, you have to pay your bills, and whatever's left over is what you have to work with, right? And becoming debt-free helped me really understand it, because we started really more aggressively saving for our retirement. Now, we never stopped contributing to our employer-sponsored plans, but we had just started some contributing to Roth IRAs kind of in the middle of our debt-free journey. And then the last couple of years, we've been maxing them out, because there are max limits. So a Roth IRA, if you're not familiar, it's a type of investment account set for retirement savings. And there are limitations on how much an individual can contribute per calendar year. And a Roth IRA just indicates what type of taxes what kind of tax advantage the account has. So this year, the limit for an individual, as long as they meet income requirements, is $6,500. And so that would be a total of $13,000 between my husband and I. And so we've decided to contribute $1,050 as a nice round number. This over the next 12 months will not, over the course of this calendar year rather, will not max out the account, but we'll have about $400 left. And throughout the year, we're going to work with our financial advisor to figure out when we're going to top that up. But I liked the nice round number of $1,050 instead of, it's something like 1,083 something to max it out exactly. But I like just nice, even, easy number to remember. We have a main savings account, and that includes both our emergency savings and any kind of contingency savings. So I like to think of emergency savings as we have a loss of income, whether through, a health event, an accident event, or, a layoff. Who knows? But also contingency, like, oh, something goes wrong with the house, something goes wrong with, we have to go somewhere because a family member needs our help. We have to take some time off work for that, or whatever. It's really our anything can happen kind of fund. And so we put in $500 a month into that account. We also have started a new savings account through an online only bank that has a high yield savings account. And so we've been contributing to it for the last couple months, and we did start with a larger lump initial deposit, but now we've settled on $50 a month goes into that. We also have a non-retirement investment account. So there's no tax advantages for a retirement account here. It is just a place for us to invest our money, extra money, if there's such a thing as extra money, for our future, but also without the restrictions of without the restrictions that a retirement account has in this country. We can withdraw any of this money. We can sell any of our investments at our own discretion. Yes, we're going to be taxed on those things, but we're not going to be penalized for taking the money before we turn 59 and a half if we need it. So it's a place for our money to grow without the restrictions of a retirement account, but also without the advantages. It's just there. And then for sinking funds, I've not allocated anything for sinking funds this month. We have, a fairly robust savings, as you can see, but also I've been working on cash savings for the last few months, and we've built up a pretty good amount in our sinking funds. And I do have some cash stuffing to do now that we're at the end of January. I had some extra money that exists to put into some of those sinking funds. So in total, we have $1,700 paying back to ourselves, which is why this is the second category on here. That gives us $3,172 remaining. And now we're going to move on to our variable expenses. And these change from month to month for us for the most part. We are expecting to spend about $350 on groceries. Like I said, we're just a family of 3, and this is groceries only. It does not include pet food. It does not include household supplies, paper products, etc. It is groceries only. We are a family of 2 adults and 1 5-year-old. Yeah, he's been hitting growth spurts, but he's not quite at that age where he's eating ravenously like a teenager. So this should do for now. Transportation will include things like gas and car washes. Being in Minnesota in February, in the winter, there's a lot of salt on the road because de-icing the roads, it's a necessity when you live in a climate like this. So we get car washes when we can, which is kind of difficult because it also has to be warm enough for a car wash. So that includes, gas and car washes. It does not include car maintenance. We do have a separate sinking fund. If we got an oil change or something like that, I would use the money from our sinking fund and put in as savings used, which again would be reflected in actual if that does happen. Household is sitting at 40. This is where we put our cleaning supplies and our paper products, things like that. Anything that the house might need that is, a small thing, like maybe a light bulb or paper plates or, duct tape, whatever. It can all go into household. And we pretty much have a lot of what we need. We don't really need anything this month, so $40 should more than cover it. Health, we do pay out of pocket for some health services. We do have a high deductible health plan. However, some of these health expenses aren't even covered couldn't be covered by an HSA because of how insurance works for us. So we just budget $300 for that. It is a very important health service for us, and we are, happy to pay that amount. We have a cat, so under pet, we have a cat. She doesn't eat a ton. She's getting up there in age. She's about 15 years old, but she's a pretty happy girl. Her name is Greta, and so she'll probably not eat $35 worth of cat food this month, but we'll see. She might need a new bag of dry food, but she does eat primarily wet food. We have, like I said, a 5-year-old. This will include money for his school lunches, money for, if he needs a new pair of pants, things like that. I don't think he's really in need of much this month. And then whatever I don't use out of this budget, it goes into his specific sinking fund. Which then, if I go over budget, I would use from that sinking fund and put into savings used, or, enter in a line item for savings used. Restaurants and entertainment, we don't go out a whole lot. We might go out for Valentine's Day, and that's down here. But, we stay home this time of year. It's so cold. The early part of February is always the coldest part of the year. And we stay home. We hunker down. We kind of hibernate. There's plenty of entertainment in our home. And like I said, I like to cook. It's also soup season, so that's what we're going to have for dinner tonight. I'm going to make some soup. Warehouse clubs, that includes Sam's Club and Costco. We've been members of Costco for the past 6 years or so. And I did join Sam's Club. I got a really good deal on a membership, and I was like, you know what? I'll give it a try. So we got a Sam's Club membership for this year too. They're also closer to my house than the Costco. As much as I like Costco, Sam's might be more convenient to get to on a, more regular basis. So this would include, if we did need a big package of toilet paper, it would come out of the warehouse club budget. It would not come out of the household budget. This also is where we get our cat litter. So that's why cat litter is not included in pet. It's included here. I also have a $50 voucher for Costco, because of the type of membership that we have. We get a certain amount of cash back. So really we'll be spending about $250 at a warehouse club, but that $50 is not reflected in income, so it's not really part of this budget. Valentine's Day, like I said, we might go out to eat on Valentine's Day. I don't really want to because all the restaurants are always so full. So maybe we'll just get takeout instead. The 3 of us can sit and watch a movie or something. So that should really more than cover it, especially thinking about the restaurant we might get takeout from. And then miscellaneous. Miscellaneous this month will probably cover a baby gift for a friend. I have a friend who's expecting a baby boy at the end of March, and her baby shower is this month. So that most of this miscellaneous will probably go towards that. So that gives us a total of $1,310 for our variable expenses, leaving us $1,862. And then we get to our mortgage. So probably notice that our housing cost was not included in our fixed expenses. I put it in our debt payments because it is a debt payment. But it also includes home owner's insurance and property taxes. So that's what this payment is. It covers all of it because it does include an escrow account for those additional items. So that is fixed at $1,783 and some odd cents. So I just, again, rounded it up to $1,784. And that is our only debt payment. And that means we have a remaining amount of $78 for, I don't know, a buffer or a rollover or whatever you want to call it. I am not a zero-based budgeter. It doesn't work for me because of how my husband and I do our finances. We just it doesn't work for my family. I've seen it done, and I think it's wonderful that some people are able to make it work. It just doesn't jive with my way of thinking, my husband's way of thinking, and our way of processing things. So we just have this leftover extra money, right? In summary, we have our income of $5,871 minus $999 in bills, $1,700 in savings, $1,310 in expenses, and $1,784 in debt, leaving us again with $78. Thank you for coming along with me as I set up my February budget. We'll see how well this works out. I just came off of a low spend January, which I was calling a no-low spend. So it was like a no-low month. But really it was just a low spend month. There was a couple of times where we spent more than I would have wanted to, but we certainly did not go over our income amount. And we saved more than we normally do. So, let's hope maybe they can keep that momentum of the lower spend. Oh, excuse me. Let's hope we can keep the low spend momentum going in February, but we'll see. And again, when we fill these amounts in, I will give you an update on whether or not my husband received a pay raise and whether or not there was a bonus. So stay tuned for that. If you liked this video, I'm glad you joined me. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Take care.